Uh, you can see it screen, right?
Yes, yes, we are able to see.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, today we talk about Solace MuleSoft integration. So it just it doesn't mean that we're integrating MuleSoft Solace. It means that as a part of requirement, as part of PubSub pattern we will use. It's not about we are integrating just MuleSoft with Solace. Okay. So we will talk about what is a Solace, the overview, and we have a inbuilt connector, and then we'll have a quick demo on that. Okay. So Solace is a messaging middleware that offers event-driven architecture for real-time data streaming capabilities. So here we call it as a Solace PubSub, and it will help us to do a publish a message, subscribe a message, and we it will do the request reply pattern, and then we have in a current world we have a lot of messaging platforms IBM messaging is there, Boomi, Kafka, a lot of messaging are there. Like that, we have Solace also. Uh, and then into Solace and Mule. So both are at good at their stack, but when we combine both, so it will become a better product. So so it enhance and extend your API-led MuleSoft integration with your event-driven integration, and with the help of mesh powered by the Solace PubSub. So Solace offering a lot of features on this, message routing, high availability, disaster recovery, distributed tracing, and then VPN related, and then Kafka bridging. So I didn't explore all these options. So I've explored connecting with this Solace for the publishing a message and then consuming a message, and with different options on that. Okay. So we have an feature real-time transformation from anywhere into the MuleSoft, as you see here. So here let's say that events are coming from Salesforce into the MuleSoft, and then with the help of mesh event mesh, so we can publish this all these events to Workday, ServiceNow, Oracle, whatever we have the requirement, we can publish it. So for this, we need a Solace account, and then obviously we need a connector. So without connector also we can connect, but in a Mule, so we will recommend if you have a connector, so that is the best option to use it. Okay, but better performance. So instead of using non standard of connecting to the any app or API. So for a trial account, so it will last for 30 days, I believe. Okay. So when you log into Solace, console.solace.com, so you will get this. Yeah. So you will get this screen. Okay. So first time you can go with sign up option, right? And then once you log in, then you will get this screen welcome screen, and by default it will be in checked. Let's say if you are using your team's Solace, or any project related, so we have to uncheck this option. If there is any services not created by you, it will show here. Okay. If not, so if you unselect, if your first time you're logging in, it will say that no existing event broker service, we can go ahead and create the service. Okay. If you see here, once you click on the create service, it will
Hi,
show.
Gopal.
Yeah.
Sorry for disturbance. Can you please click that hide option down? Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So once you click on the create service, it will ask you the these basic details. What is the service name? I just for today's I just named as a Mule demo, and you can select the cloud. Okay, we have AWS and GCP, the other clouds as well, and we can select region, whatever. So as like Mule, so it is different regions are there. You can select whatever the region, and then we can leave it the remaining options as is. Okay, it will go to be a developer option. So once you are able to create a service, right, and when it will take 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes of time to create the service, and you can get the screen, and then you can see when you go to the connect of when you click on the connect, you see a lot of ways of connecting option to the Solace. Okay, so for now we are using Solace JCMP API. Okay, all these will be the like same, like what, like we need username, password, and VPN host URLs. Okay, and I will show you these all options. Okay, when I go through this Solace console. And this is like easy way you can add your like connector dependencies. You can just log into your account and just say Solace, and then you'll get an option to Solace PubSub connector. The latest version is 1.5. When I started working, I think it was like 1.2 or 1.3. So we had issues. I think kind of reading the properties, but yeah, they can fix this issue recently. On 1.3 itself. I just pasted the few references here. Okay, and we'll look into the demo. Any questions on this? I didn't talk much about theory, so we'll go through the like demo, and then we'll show you the what are the options. Okay. Uh, Let me go here. Yeah. So this is when you just say like Solace login, you will get this. Okay. And then you will get like login screen where you can say that like sign up by giving your email ID and then basic details. Then once you log in, you will get a screen like this. Okay. Let me show you. So this is the welcome screen, and if you go to cluster manager, okay, so it is showing like so the first time it will show like this because I have a created service. It will show like this, okay. For time being, we can like try to create a service, okay. Demo account, and I select AWS, and then we can select any region. Okay, and by default it will load the broker release version, so you can try whatever like with that. Okay. Mm, Select another service type. You have reached that limits of the region do not support this service type. Okay. Yeah, maybe it's trial account. It's allowing only one account to create, but yeah, this is the option. Just like you give the basic details and just say create service. Okay, it will create the service. Okay. And this is the one I created mule demo, and this is the reason I've selected, and it is showing in a running mode, right? So you could see the all the statistics here, like active connections, guaranteed message endpoints, all the queue details. Okay, it's showing that running. And if I show to like connect, earlier in the deck I was showing, right, like this was the options we will get it. So when I click on connect, there are a lot of ways to connect to the Solace, like connect with Java, C++, Python, Go, JavaScript, Node.js. So different ways we can connect to the Solace. Okay, so is easy way through connector is like we can select this, and then if you click on JCMP option, here is the details it required when you configure your connector: username, password, and then VPN, and then host URL. Okay. Yeah, and if I go to manage, and you can, and there are we have an options here like message VPN clients, queues, all these controls here. So for now, when I click on a queue, I created a couple of queues here. Okay, it will display here, and if I go inside a queue, it will show here options here, right? And how many messages are queued here if I'm not consumed, or if it's consumed, so it won't show here. And if I go to consumer, so it is consuming from a local, which like API is running in the Anypod Studio. So that's why it's showing like the consumers. If you have any topic here, it will show here. So as like other JMS, I worked on WebLogic JMS, like where we the concept of like the topics are different here to there. So here like topics exist like virtually. Okay, so and we can go and just say that like subscription to this one, so whenever there is a message reach the topic, right, it will distribute to the queue. Okay. If I think I assume that like people have idea about what is a queue and the topic. So queue is like I will explain if anyone doesn't know it. Queue is like, point to point integration, like, where we will publish a message to the queue and someone will consume that. Okay, it's a one to one relation. Topic is like, one to many, and we can say that like, pub like, subscriber model, publish and subscriber model, like, wherein you publish a message to the top one topic. There will be like, multiple queues will be associated with that, and then like, message will be distributed. If I say that like, in a real time world, let's say I want to like, we have a broadcasting in WhatsApp, right? Like, if you go and put a message into the broadcasting, or in, we can say that group also, you will just put a message to the group, it will be visible to the everyone, right? It's not like, if I want to send a message to the 10 people, I don't need to go and select each people one by one and send a message, right? So we can create a broadcasting list, and you can just select that broadcasting list, send the message. So similarly, topic works in the similar fashion. Okay, this is all about like, queues types. Okay, I mean, queue types means like, queue and topic. We can create whatever the queues you want. Okay, and if I go to the settings here, there is an option to enable disable in the incoming outgoing message. Okay, for so and so reason, I don't want to allow message on EMP queue. Okay, so I can just go ahead and select here. Okay, if I say edit, I can say select, right? I don't want to receive messages from anyone to this queue. I can go come and select here incoming. I can pass it here. Outgoing also, even if someone is consuming the message, but I don't want. I want to see like, how many messages are coming, or some sort of like, I want to see that how things looking there. So you can just pass the message. So like, we will do all these options real time, right? So okay, for some sort of testing, okay, I don't want to anyone to consume this message. So that time I will come and select outgoing in a disable mode. Okay, and if I go to advanced section, okay, so here we have an option called TTL here, respect TTL, like, time to leave. So if I enable this property here, right? So message will not expire like, until this time defined. Okay, if some no one consume the message in particular TTL defined, the message will be deleted. Okay, if I go here, I think in Q1 I've enabled here. If I go advanced settings, here respect TTL I mentioned here, I'm passing as like, 40 seconds here. So if no one is consumed the message within 40 seconds, the message will auto deleted. Okay. Um, okay, message settings I have told about like, incoming outgoing pause option. Okay, and told about like TTL message expiry at queue level, and this manual act mode we will try in the demo, and then try me option also we will try during demo. And there is a one more option here. If I go here settings, there is an option called maximum delivered unacknowledged messages per flow. It is the set is default is 10. Okay, so if you set like, with this setting, if there is a four messages in a queue, four messages parallelly will be consumed. Okay, that time we don't have control, right? So it's a kind of a parallel processing. Okay, but I want to process message at one by one on completion of the message only. Okay, okay, I once the flow is complete and once acknowledgement done, I want to process the second message there. So you have to set to the one, like, there, so it will process one by one message only. So that's why I mentioned here, set to one at queue levels, the broker delivers one message at a time. Otherwise, it will process parallelly. Okay. This is additional message product here. Character level, we will see that. Okay. Any questions on this? Okay. I assume no questions. We'll go to the demo now. Okay, I listed the scenarios here. Scenario one is published queue and consume from a queue. Okay, so in real time, let's say that like, I'm getting a message from like, external system. Okay, someone is publishing a message to the queue, Solace queue. Okay, I want to consume that message. Okay, so for demo purpose, I only publishing a message from like, Postman to the API. Okay, Yeah, this is the API I'm saying, like, Mule Solace published queue. Okay, here I've defined a listener here. Okay, demo queue. Okay, and then what I'm doing, just flow, logging it, and I've set a properties here. Okay, we will I set a variable here, but when scenario comes, I'll explain why we need this one. Okay, so here I'm just receiving a message from an API. I'm publishing to the message. This is what I'm saying is publish to queue. Okay, sorry for scenario one, publish to queue. And in the next option, we will talk about consume message from a queue. Okay, now I'll go to this connector option here, connector configuration here. This is very simple connector configuration. Okay, you just drag. Okay, once you add this connector, right? You see we have a lot of options here. Connector operations. Okay, Solace pub sub connector, you see add, consume, direct topic consumer, guarantee endpoint listener, guarantee endpoint polling, publish, recovery session, request reply. I've explored a couple of them. ACK is manual ACK where you want to do manually. Okay, I will explain where we have to do that. Okay, later. And then consume is when you want to consume a message with, in middle of the flow. Most of the times what we will do, our API will be listening to a queue by default. If I say that guaranteed endpoint listener or polling, right? So that, but I want to consume a flow in middle of the flow, consume a message in the middle of the flow, we can use consume option. I didn't explore this direct topic of subscriber. Guaranteed endpoint listener, guaranteed endpoint polling listener, both are mostly similar. The only difference is, as you say, is the polling, right? So it will consume the message as per the scheduled manner. Let's say if I schedule for every 1 minute, it will consume. Every 10 minutes, it will consume. But guaranteed endpoint listener is it will be keep on polling to the queue, as and when there is a message in the queue, it will automatically pick the message. Okay, I didn't try this. Yeah, publish. Yes, this is we trying here. Okay, and once you're done with the connector configuration, right? So I'm just selecting okay, this one. Yeah, so this is connector. We Solace connector. We just saying that publishing a message to the queue, and I mentioned queue name as employee queue, and the body is I'm sending a payload here. Okay, there are a lot of options you can explore. So for just simple demo, I just selected sending a message to the queue, and I'm sending the body. And here a lot of properties here, additional messaging properties while you are publishing a message here. Okay, so for time being, first I will try with the simple option, and then later we can talk about what is this additional property here. Okay, so the API is already running. Okay, and I will just go ahead and this is the first publish one I'm talking. So the resource path is demo queue here. Okay, when I say send button, so the message published to the Solace topic, sorry, Solace queue, and if there is any consumer, by default will consume it. Okay, I look at the logs here. Okay, okay, so here in the publish flow, I said mention that publish flow start, and I'm printing the payload here, employee number, name, mobile number. That's what we sent in a request, right? And then it is published to the message, and this flow got ended here. Okay, if you go back to the flow, you see the same. So publish flow start, and just printing the payload. Okay, I'm setting up some property here, and then publish a message here. Okay, and then, and if you come down here, the second scenario, I mean within a scenario one, there's off of the another work we're doing is consume from a queue. Okay, if I go down here, as consuming a message from a queue with guaranteed endpoint listener here. Okay, if I come here, mentioned as a consuming from a EMP queue. And acknowledgement modes we have is automatic, that is like automatic immediate, that's the default one. Second one is automatic on flow completion. Third one is manual client. So automatic immediate means as and when you consume a message, it automatically send a acknowledgement here. Okay, it doesn't bother about where it here only, right? Yeah. So it won't look whether the flow is completed or not. By okay, if I select default option, that is automatic immediate means as and when you receive a message, it will send acknowledgement to the Solace platform. It will delete the message. Okay, you don't have a control over your message. Okay, once you receive a message and you start processing it, okay, if there is an error, okay, you cannot go and look for the message. So the pops up pattern is meant for the reliability message, or we can say in an easy way that guaranteed delivery. Okay, with the message, if you go with guaranteed endpoint listener, we are saying that we deliver the message for sure, right? So if you select automatic, we can select when there is no what's a high priority of the messages, where we no need to worry if someone sends message again if a request, right? In case source will sends only one in a message once, then they can't send. But we should what to say, persist the message and process it. So that's why I'm, for time being, what I selected is automatic on flow completion. So this flow will acknowledge the message once the flow is successfully completed. Otherwise it won't do. If let's say if it get error out, it won't do acknowledgement. Message will still lie in the queue only. Okay, so here what I mentioned here is public consume flow start. Okay, and I will come to the next here after completing this what is the property, and this printing the payload, and then ending the flow here. Okay, in the first scenario what we did is scenario one, publish a message to the queue. Okay, your I sent a message in a through postman, the listener listened the message and it published a message to the queue, and then Solace consume message is consumed from the same queue called EMP queue here, right? And I've selected automatic flow completion here. That's why you see the logs here. The first part is saying publish flow start and log the payload and end the flow, that is like publish one, and consuming flow start here, and I'm printing the property here, and then I'm printing the payload what is there in the Solace queue, and end the flow here. Okay, any doubts on this publish consume one?
We have few questions.
Okay, where is
Can we choose other cloud platform instead of AWS?
sorry, come again, what is that? What is
Can we choose other cloud platform?
yeah, you can select. Okay, it all depends on your wish. Okay, so I am not sure which platform gives the best options, but it's just they give options, right? And sometimes based on the region, let's say you are selecting some sort of Asia Pacific region. If you don't have AWS in the, let's say I'm saying, you can go for other one, but it's all together you can select any platform. Okay, GCP or AWS. Can you maximize the flows in demo? Okay. Any other questions before that? I show that kindly. Okay. Okay. Um.
Like we asking what is the significance? That is same question.
Sorry. What is the significance of?
Cloud AWS while creating this service, is it like a queue topic created on Solace will be on AWS only?
Yeah, so it's so Solace offers on-premise installation or cloud-based also. For the cloud, they're offering, I mean, we need a platform, right, to host the Solace platform. We saying a Solace cloud, right? Solace itself, it's cannot, I mean, we need a kind of a place where we have to host our APIs or services, right? So like Solace want to host their platform in some sort of any cloud, right? So here we selected AWS. You can select GCP, whatever the options we have, you can select that. So it's like, where you are installing your Windows in a particular machine, right? So we need a hardware, right? So that hardware is provided by the AWS here. Can you please show again the connector configuration published component? Okay. Um, I will come back to Vijay Bhaskaran question again. Okay. I will show the connector configuration first. Okay. So connector configuration, once you drag and drop with whatever the operation you want to do. Let's say we want to do publish option, right? So once you click on the connector configuration, okay, just you need to provide the username and password. So the username password is available in your Solace platform. So once you go to connect, right, it is showing like, a lot of options. Okay, this all this connect with Java as a single option. Okay, if I go to Solace C, okay, most of similarly same only, but just that, how you are connecting is a different. Like you can connect from REST API, you can connect from any Java applications, C plus Python application, whatever it is. Okay, so for connecting to from MuleSoft connector, so we can use the connect with Java, and with they use this JCMP API option, right? And your username is available here, password is available here. Okay, by default it will be created by the Mule only. Okay, sorry, Solace. And then message VPN and URL here. So what you just get all things to there to here, this username, password, VPN, and then your broker host here. Okay. In the Solace UI level, okay. The first question is, may I know the difference between ACK as a separate component versus one of the feature that being enabled for the consume message flow? I didn't get exact the question. Manual ACK will be used. Okay, so okay, I will tell you where what is the scenario will use the ACK manual ACK. Okay, let's say you're okay. I'll go here. Okay, we have I set a guarantee. I mean the manual configuration here. Okay, so you consume a message in a queue, right? You're processing it. Okay, you go to error. Okay, and let's say uh, you got error, but which is a non. I mean, which is a where you cannot solve that error. Okay, but still you want to do a manual acknowledgement. I mean, you want to do a acknowledgement over there. Okay, if you select automatic, you don't have any control over there by default. As in when you consume a message, it will delete the message in a Solace queue. If you choose on flow completion, right, once you complete with the error flow also, it will delete the message. But I want to retain the message even if we get error out also. Okay, you can do a manual acknowledgement. I mean, if you don't do manual acknowledgement, it will stay there, but you want to delete the message after certain retries, or after some sort of retry mechanism. Yeah, yeah. Then you have to delete. Yes, you can choose that. Okay, or else you, I mean, this manual option will give you flexibility at what point of time you want to do a control or give a control back to the Solace to delete the message. If you don't want, you just select you uh without manual act, right? In the Solace UI level, can we have option to request to change the request time, response time, and configuration in the Solace UI level? To change the request time, response time option. Uh, Babaraju, I didn't get the question. So, can you talk? I mean, if possible.
Let me give him mic access.
Yeah, yeah. You can talk now. You are in mute if you're trying to speak. Uh, Baba Raju, you got a access to talk. You are in mute. Can I? Okay, fine. So option to have a request. So no, we don't have an option to change the response timeout in this UI level. Okay, but we have an options in the connector level only where you want to while publishing or consuming. Can we have the option to have the request to change the request time and response time mode configuration? Are you talking in the connector configuration? But you mentioned Solace UI. Okay, I'll talk about this in end if you're able to speak. Okay, if you select the acknowledgement mode as a default immediate, the flow is filled in between what will happen in that message. Why you need presenter mode? Um, y- yeah, I'll respond to Sagar and I'll come back to Vinod. Okay. What will happen if it is
Okay.
made? So message will be deleted, Sagar, from the queue immediately. So you don't have a control over there. That's the reason you have to select on flow completion. Still, you want to do like other way, we can go for manual act. Okay. In Solace, if you forget to select appropriate act mode, then by default will lose a message with yes, correct, Sagar. Yeah, we know you were about to speak something.
Yeah, Gopal, thank you. So, what is the difference between Kafka and JMS queues? So, Solus is a charged organization. So, Kafka is a free for a organization. The organization why choose the Solus platform? Any idea about this?
No, I didn't explore that, like, what major differences between the Kafka and Solace. Yes, certainly there will be features between, like, enterprise to enterprise. I couldn't talk much on that.
And
It's like, when we are evaluating between platforms, right? So we have to go with the, like, the features available between these two products. Okay, that's what I can say.
okay, and my second question is, so for first scenario, we can publish a message in queue. So
Mm-hmm.
in this scenario, can we only one endpoint for a listener? It is correct, my understanding. So you can publish the message EMPQ. So
Mm-hmm.
this EMPQ only one consumer can consume.
Correct.
And topic, we are a publish a message pub-sub model. You can publish a message and 10 to 20 consumers to consume the message. It's right.
Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
I will show you that like in a couple of minutes. The scenario two I'll show you here. Like if you see here, publish to topic, okay, and consume from a queue. So when I publish a topic, okay, it will be published to two queues. Okay. For in the demo, if you see here, like manage queue. Oh, queues. Okay, I'll come to here like published topic, right? So here I am publishing to topic one. Okay, the name is topic one. So if I go to Q1 and then subscriptions, you see topic one. If I go back to Q2, subscriptions is the same, right? And message will delete it quickly. I will change the configuration so that you can see that message is coming to two queues. Okay. Okay. Now, what the scenario? Okay. Before that, there was a question, or someone is trying to ask some question. Yeah, thanks, Abhishek. I think Abhishek provided that some sort of about details about the Solace. Okay, you can go through the message. Yeah, we'll go to the second scenario, that is like published topic and consumer free queue. Okay, as per the it's similar to publish to a queue. Okay, the same, like it's just that, like you have to selecting the type is your topic, uh, queue over queue, right? And the queue name you have to provide, and the payload whatever you want to try. Okay, now this published to topic is listening at a demo t. Okay, let me click on this demo topic. Okay, so it's just that, like published to topic flow start, received message, and the end. Okay, this is the logs you could see here. Published topic flow start, and then message printed here, end. If I go to Solace here now, you see here, Q1 has a one message now. Earlier it was zero. Now Q2 has 8. Okay, now 1 8, right? Let me send again. Yeah, earlier it was 1, now it's 2, and then message queued is 9 here. Okay, if I go inside, why messages are not consumed by anyone? Because there are no consumers for this queue. If you go here, subscriptions are there as a topic, but consumers are 0 here. That's the reason the messages are not consumed by anyone here. Okay, if I select, like if I configure consume in a flow for Q1, the message will be auto consumed now here. Okay, if I set a TTL, right? Edit settings. Let's say, like so as per the requirement. Okay, I don't want to message, let's say some sort of update messages are coming to the queue. Okay, every 5 minutes there is a message, I mean every 5 minutes, like that particular product updates are coming to the queue. Okay, if you are able to process within a 5 minutes is well and good. Okay, if we are processing after fifth minute, the message will be like it will become a stale message, means it's like old update will be there. Okay, then let's say you are sending, like weather updates, right? So let's say you are sent a weather update at 10:45. Okay, and you should send to this weather update to the some target system by 10:50. Okay, so they can take a decision that, like they want to go out or not. Okay, if you send update by after 5 minutes, like no use of it, right? But another 5 minutes you will get another update. But that's the reason I don't want to send a stale message. Okay, so I want to delete that message. Okay, okay, apply. Okay, I will send one more message to the topic now. Should have a 3 messages over here. Okay, you see 10:45 58, you see message here. Okay, and expiry time is showing here, see 10:46:38. It message sent by 45:58, and it will get expired by 46:38. It was expiry that time was not applicable, that's why it's showing like in a NA, so it won't get deleted. We can delete it manually. 16:46. Oh, by this time, yeah, see now the third message got deleted here, which was posted at 10:46. So with this, by enabling the setting here, right, you can set the TTL to auto expire the message if you are not able to process within the specified timelines. Now, okay, either I can change the code now to listen from a Q2, or what I want to tell you another option, like what I'm doing is, from I'm publishing, I mean I'm sending a message to the one API, and that API is publishing a message to the topic and publishing message to the queue. Okay, we have an option called try me option within the Solace. Okay, if you go here, once you log into the anypoint Solace, and you can go to here, there is cluster manager, you click on the service, okay, and you will get a try me option here, okay, and click on open broker, right? And let's say I want to send a message to the queue, okay, and okay, and I want to tell both options in a single flow. Now I'm going to tell that try me option in a Solace UI and then do a manual act here, okay. So this guarantee endpoint listener is listening to, there is a queue name called manual act, okay. I will say manual act, okay. I want to send a message now here, say connect, okay. Connect username, okay, it got connected. And manage queues, okay, it is coming only. I am going to manual act, right? So manual act, there is no means only one zero messages, and you see here one consumer here, okay. And then one more thing, I think, yeah, if you go to stats, you could see that, like, messages, I like, where is that? Yeah, messages receive redelivered. Yeah, sorry, messages queued. Okay, where once you created the queue, okay, how many messages are each here, and then number of messages, message ID acknowledged, low, high, all the statistics you could see here. Okay, so now it is going to change to 8. Okay, and at the try me option, I want to see the message lying here only. I will say outgoing off here. Okay, now go to try me option, okay, and publish. Okay, one direct message published now. Go to queues. You see here, manual act here. The messages queued is 1 now, and the stats should going to change to 8, I think. How many were there? 7 earlier. Redelivered. Oh yeah, messages queued is 8 now. Earlier 7, right? Now, if I go to log console here, okay, now API is running. Let's say your API is running in a anyone platform, but your pause the consumption. So it's saying, like, client one error response 503 service unavailable, because you pause the consumption of the particular queue in settings here, right? Now I will release this setting, apply. See, once I release the control, now consume manual act flow start. Okay, and this is the payload I sent there, which was defaultly added there, and then it got ended here. I go there, message queued, it got deleted now. Okay, and this is the one I was planned for scenario 2. And another one is additional message properties connector level. I'll take the questions after this, okay, if any. So in the publish flow, in the first publish flow, okay, I'm setting some property here. Okay, so let's say I'm getting a message in a Solace. Sorry, someone is sending a message to the Mule API. Let's say this is a Mule experience API, process API is running in any platform. Someone is calling our Mule API, and then they send a message to this API. This message receives a message, and then it publishing the message. Okay, but I want to and this is like, pub sub pattern, right? Like, you are publishing a message to the like, yeah, the message whatever you're receiving from the payload. Okay, but you want to, either you can append to the payload, or I want to send some property to the Solace while publishing a message to the queue, and let's say if SAPI is consuming the message or PAPI is consuming the message, any API is consuming the message, and they want to get that property also. Okay, so they, what we can do here, we have an option called, okay, additional messaging properties here. Okay, once by default it will be none. Okay, once you select expression edit inline, okay, it will enable here, and then there you have an option. So and then within, like, additional messaging properties, there is a default properties they set by Solace connector configuration. You see here, like, additional messaging ID, expiration time, time to leave, you can set from while publishing a message also. Or another option is, like, it's like, what to say that, manually you are setting some properties here, user properties maps. Okay, I did a expression, I'm sending something called vars dot additional message property here. Okay, so now this is, like, published to queue, right? Okay, let me run the publish to queue. Okay, publish to queue run, and then emp queue will consume, right? Publish from queue, and this is consuming from emp queue, right? Yeah, come queue, and then I'm printing the attributes here. See here, publish flow start and payload is printed, the publish flow end, and then consume flow start, and I've printed what are the properties are set here. If you see here, if I go set variable here, I've set some small payload called name, and age here. The same properties are displaying here. This way, the other SAPI or PAPI who is consuming the message from a queue, they have the properties. They can read it like attributes dot user properties, and then you can further process it as per your requirement. Okay. And I covered message settings detail, manual act, try me option, and max delivered unacknowledged message is used whenever you want to process messages at one by one. And then additional message properties queue level, whenever you want to do, as name says, like, additional message properties apart from the data is coming payload, but I want to set some sort of additional properties to tell that, like, this message is this, that, and all. Okay. Okay, lot of questions. Okay, using Solace missing queue, okay, easy, I think mentioned here, or is it question here?
He just given info.
Info. Okay, thanks, Sai. uh, SMF is build protocol by Solace. Yeah, so SMF is a, like, build protocol by the Solace message. Oh, yeah, so yes, correct. So as I shown here, there are multiple protocols supported by the Solace here. See, you see here, and here, connect using supported client library, and they're saying, like, by language or by protocol. So if I select a protocol, if you see here, Solace messaging protocol, something sort of like, Java, JCMP, all this, and there's something called MQP, MQTT, REST. Okay, if you want to connect from our Mule itself through uh, REST API, you can try this also option also. Okay, they're all, like, even you want to connect, the connecting way you can filter by the language or protocol here. Any other questions?
Yeah, hi Gopal.
Yeah, hi Sagar.
Gopal, I have a question on acknowledgement mode only.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
in endpoint MQ, we have auto, immediate, and manual
Manual.
acknowledgement.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So in endpoint MQ, auto is default one where like message will be deleted from queue once the flow is successful. But if we see in Solace, like immediate is default one. Immediate means it will pull the message and it will delete from that queue, whether
Correct.
the flow is successful or not.
Correct. Correct.
But
Yeah, that's a
that
reason. So, oh, sorry, here that's the reason we have flow completion is there. So the first default one is automatic immediate.
yeah,
So, but as per requirement, you will come to know on what way you have to do manual, sorry, acknowledgement. So default is automatic. As and when you receive message, it will delete. you want to control over flow completion, you can go for automatic flow completion. This automatic flow completion, what it will do, even if it get error out, it will just delete it, right? But you want to do some sort of error mechanism, even if it is error out also, it will go to error handler, either propagate or continue, and then from there you have to do some sort of operations. Then only you have to, let's say, if there is a requirement called uh, I want to process, I want to retry for an hour time, okay? So it will go to control, right? And then you will keep on retrying, okay? After that only you have to do acknowledgement. That time you can use the manual acknowledgement. So the three options are available. And I did explore some of options. The options called redelivery from replay options are there. I think that's listed in the features, I think so. Mhm. Yeah, message replay. So recent persistent messages to the client application from a replay log. So I didn't explore this. There is an option where it automatically push a message to the queue and then it will be consumed for the processing it.
Yeah, I got that. My main question is on default mode only,
Mm-hmm.
because in Solace we will lose that message if we somehow miss the configuration of
Correct,
acknowledgement
correct.
mode. That is
Yeah,
not
and that I think the DMQ will help us. You have to configure the DMQ, dead message queue,
okay. Yeah,
where where you cannot process. But this, I think this will overwrite it actually. As and when if you select this, you have to be cautious when you're doing acknowledgement mode.
correct.
Yeah,
Because if we miss to update the
yeah, correct.
configuration,
Yeah,
then
yeah,
like
yeah,
this
correct.
will not be good practice,
Mm,
because any point MQ has good feature then,
yeah.
because it will not lose the message in anyhow, like if we miss
Yeah,
the
they gave an option, so we have to be cautious while selecting this acknowledgement. And yeah, and we have an
okay.
option called selector here. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, Gopal,
Okay.
got it.
This is something called selector here. Okay. If you see here, optionally specify the selector only to consume from a subset of messages of interest. Okay. I didn't explore in this, but during my old projects in the JMS series, and so I've explored. So this selector will help, let's say we have a different types of messages are coming at a single queue. Okay. Let's say um, order status, either it is cancel order or delivered order. Any type of message is coming into a single queue, but you want to pick the message only the type is equals to some sort of delivered. Okay, so those messages, I mean those kind of messages, if you want to pick, you can do a selector here. Okay, uh, it will give an option to select, maybe say something called a type equals to this, only those messages will be picked from that particular queue. So that way different consumers can consume it from a single queue, but by selecting the message type. Otherwise, if we have a two listener single queue, it's a kind of a race between two listeners, right? So there will be issue would be there. So but if you have a type defined there, yes, you can select from, you can consume from a different sources. Any other questions?
Amit Kumar and Vinod, you have any questions?
No, Vandana, I just had one answer for Sagar. I understood his question that he was asking why that is made as default by MuleSoft. Why not the other one, which is more reliable? So that is already answered by Gopal. You can Sagar, you can see in Kafka also there is an acknowledgement mode where none is selected by default, which is actually less reliable. So that has nothing to do with Solace. It has to do with MuleSoft.
Okay. Yeah, but in that case, like we will lose the message, and
Correct,
which is
correct.
not.
So the person who is developing this, he has to keep in mind that what he
Yeah,
wants to select means intentionally he has to look into this option
yeah,
for a higher reliability.
correct.
And one more person, I think Vinod was asking that we have already available Kafka, then why we should go for this paid license kind of things. So Kafka is free, of course, but Kafka will not offer you that kind of UI and traceability monitoring. These like on the Kafka itself, Confluent whole company is built. Here also Solace is also offering Kafka as a message broker. Here also Kafka option is there.
Correct.
So
Yeah, bridging is there. Correct. This
yes,
is one of the feature is there. Kafka bridging. Link Kafka clusters with PubSub event brokers.
yes. So Kafka is a freeware. There is no like you have to do everything. If you are going directly with the Kafka, you need technical expertise to handle that Kafka. These company want that you need not go deep into this, and all the technical things are mostly abstracted. You just focus on the logic. You just have an idea how this broker pops up model works. Just you focus on that and you do your business. You need not dig deep into this. So that is what they are selling, right? That is
Yeah.
what they are charging for license, because they are giving you a UI and easy accessibility, monitoring, observability, logging, tracing, everything in a single window.
Thanks, Samit, for the insight on that.
One more thing, can we configure DLQ in the Solace?
Yeah, DMQ, they call it as a dead message queue. That is a default when they have it, or you can explicitly, when you have got error, you can publish that message to, you can define it as like a normal queue as an error queue, and then or else they have a default. Let me show you that settings, additional, yeah, DMQ name. So you can define that and you can use that.
Okay, is that mean like we can create just one queue and assign that queue name here as DMQ, where
Yeah,
all
correct.
dead message will go there?
Yeah, but when I read it, so they recommend for individual queues so that it's easy for if you go for reprocessing, right? Let's say that you send a message to the dead message queue, but after some time, so some sort of same listener or some sort of another one want to consume the message processing it. It's easy if you have a individual per queue DMQ. Otherwise,
Got
it's a kind of mess of, I mean, not mess, it's kind of a all messages in a single queue, then you have to filter it again. Like, yes, I said the selector option is there, right? So you have to go ahead and do the selector and then consume from the flow and then process further it.
Yeah, basically for reprocessing the failed
Yeah,
messages,
correct,
we can
exactly,
pull it.
yeah. Hmm.
Okay,
uh
thank you, Gopal.
no problem. Preeti, I'm not sure on that, we'll check and let you know. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, I think Vandana, we can wrap up if you don't have any questions.
Yeah, I guess no question, no more questions. Yeah, I guess this session is very helpful for all. Um, it's very interacting session, and Gopal is presented very well. Thank you, Gopal, for this session.
No problem. Most welcome. And
Thank you.
others also, yes, as I said, it was interactive. Sometimes it's a kind of one way where people will be talking and then they won't ask question. But yeah, I felt good.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks all for joining. Yeah, so we can wrap up this session now.
Yeah. Thank you all. Bye. Happy weekend.
Thank you all.